n dimensions with Numpy arrays, you could add, but you have to, when you are adding, I could say, okay, let's say A plus B. What does it do? So I have this, my 2 dimension. I have this one as 1 dimension. What it does is this one will add to this one, this will add to this, this will add to this, this will add to this. Going to the next row, this one will add to the first one, this one will add to this will add to this, and this will add to this. So you're using like this, adding to this first one and adding to the next one. So by the time you see it, you see that this is 2, 4, so it's adding. You could also do multiplication, so the same logic, multiply. So if you remember, people that enjoy mathematics, your metrics, how to add metrics and combine metrics and vectors, this just does that for you. You could also multiply, so the same thing, the first item on the one, so you could, and for you to add things, they have to be the same length. So for example, this is this has 4, this one has so it's, the shape is 4, like you have 4 items in it. B, we have 4 and 4, so it has to be the same number of columns or the same number of rows, but the rows doesn't matter. So but this length has to be, for example, I specify, let's do something else. If I change my A to be something else, let's say A is equals to np dot array 1, 2, 3. This wouldn't work because this is 3, this is 4. So by the time it won't. So if, let's try something. They say couldn't broadcast together with shapes. This is 3, this is 2. None of them make sense. So it has to be the same shape for that to work. The same way you could also do your slicing. Remember what we did indexing with Python last week. So the first, so let's see this as rows and columns, right? So the first row, we have an index of 0. This second row has an index of 1. Same with your column. The first column, this is 0, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3. So let's subset, for example. I will say for my row, I want to pick the first row, so it has to be 0, and I'll put a comma. I want to pick, what's it, number 3 there is the second item, because if this is 0, this is 1, this is 2, so this will return 3 for me. So we'll be using your comma to specify between the row and your column. So if I want to pick the second item, for example, I could say now to be 1. Remember your row first. Let me use my negative index, and I'm picking the last item on the second row. What does it return? It returns 8. I can make this, let's make this 2. Or let's make it 3. It still returns 8 because minus. So basically I can say, okay, let me return 1. What does it do? It returns the first, in second row. Let's try it with our 3 dimensions. So if I, let me print out C here. Yes. So for example, the same thing happens with your 3 dimensions. So this first item here is 0. This next one here is 2. It's 1. So 0, 1. So if I want to do C, so let me get the second. So I want to get, let's say I want to get 10 from this whole thing. What would I do? So this is first is 0, but I want to, and your 10 is in the second one. So if I'll do 1, let's do 1. So within this same one now, we have 2 items now. So we have rows and column. So the 10 is in the first row. Then we can do 0. And based on columns, 10 is in 1. So remember, so this is 0, this is 1. So the whole of this, let's start, the whole of this is 0. The whole of this is 1. So within this same one, the whole of this the first row here is 0. The whole of this other one is 1. Then within this same one, so I picked out 0. This is 0, this is 1, so I can say 1. So you know, when you store things in Python, it's like they are storing in different shelves. So you should know how to locate each item in the shelf to get out certain things from it. So by the time I print this returns 10. So if I want to return 16, for example, this would have to be 1, and this would, I could just use -1 here to get 16. So I want to get the entire first row. I will just do this. So if I could do 0, then do comma and do this. It gives me everything in my first row. If I want to get everything in my first column, just use this column and use 1. Yeah.